All right, let's.
You know what we need to do, Josh? We need to class up the joint.
We do need to class up the joint.
I've been told we need a little feminine energy.
We do need some
But not
feminine,
just any feminine energy.
not
Someone
just any of it.
who knows
No,
football, someone that's smart,
someone with some knowledge,
some
some
knowledge,
brain
someone that's
power.
smarter than us, which isn't hard to find.
It's not hard to find at all.
Find it
It's
all.
not hard to find at all.
But
But I think I got the right person.
you do? Tell
I
me about
do. Well, Miss Courtney Mims
it. Ooh.
from Pig Trail Nation has agreed to be on this episode, our yearly annual episode where we go through the schedule and predict. And Clint, we were just talking about it. This may be the best one of these we've ever done.
Yeah, I agree 100.
Of this
It's
prediction.
better than the episode we don't talk about.
That's right. The episode that shall not be named. David Basil. But folks, this is a good one. We bring Courtney brings in so much knowledge and just with her connections and experience. This was a pleasure. This was a lot of fun. And let's just get to it, Clint. This is a good.
But before we get to it, Travis, you know what they need to do?
Oh, I know what they need to do.
Give us a like. You need to share, and if you also need to subscribe, and if you forget about it, Courtney's going to tell you to do it later.
That's right. So, folks, enjoy some Sean Michelle, and then get some education on what this schedule is going to look like, because we tell you what it's going to be. How about you?
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you I'll change his. Ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you I'll change his.
I can't really see. That's like when you said something about
Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen a weak find the strength? I promise you I'll change his life. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen a death man rise? I promise you I'll change his
What's up, everybody? What is going on? It's the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T. Joined as always by my man Big C, but we don't care about him because we've classed up the joint today, folks. The Hawg Slop is we got to button up a little bit.
That's why I'm wearing
somebody
a polo.
that's important. Yeah, he's wearing a polo. I'm just wearing a workout.
It's not because I didn't pack any t-shirts. It's because I wanted to wear a polo. Right. Business casual.
We have a special guest for our schedule prediction episode. None other than Courtney Mims from Pig Trail Nation, KNWA. I want to get those letters right because I'm in South Arkansas. Me and Clint are normally used to be Central Arkansas guys, but also KRK4 Little Rock. She does the Ask Mike segment, but got some changes happening in her life right now, though. I hear she can tell us more about that. But Courtney, welcome to the Slop House. So good to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, it's so great to be on the podcast. I'm so excited to join. I know you guys have some star-studded guests, so I am just thankful to be and honored to be just one of them.
Well,
no, thank you so much. And it's got to go better than the time we had Basil on.
Yeah, that's the episode that we do not speak of very much.
Yeah, that was the great train wreck of 2022.
And it wasn't Basil's fault. It was our fault. Well, it was Clint's fault. But still, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, but that's
he tried to do it on the road in Moab, Utah, in his car. didn't work out so good.
No.
We decided not to
It
ever
was
do that again.
It was bad.
But anyway,
Yeah. Sorry I brought it up.
well, Courtney, listen, I'm so grateful you're coming on. I love watching you on Ask Mike, those segments. Anybody that can put up with Mike Irwin has got to be like a saint, an angel, something like that to do that. Okay. Um, Clint and I are old enough to remember him from old school Hogville days when he was, causing problems on hogville.net when Houston Nut was the whole thing there. But anyway, but I love those segments. Y'all bring some great stuff, and you always do a great job bringing some great information. And you're also on Drive Time,
Mhm.
on Morning Mayhem, also segment
Yeah,
on that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
those are shows we watch. But there's some changes for you right now. Do you want to tell a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, so a lot of people have been waiting for an announcement from me. I still cannot tell you guys the real announcement, okay? And I know this episode might air later when it might be officially out. So if it's officially out by now, ignore what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm doing. But if unfortunately I can't announce what I'm doing just yet, but I am kind of switching my role. I'm gonna still be with the company. So I'll still be with our parent company. I'll still be doing stuff a
Okay.
little bit with the Pig Trail Nation, but I will be kind of moving out of Fayetteville and moving to Central Arkansas. So I am doing a little bit of a switch up there. I will still be covering the Hogs. I'm going to be
Yeah.
covering a lot more of Arkansas sports now because there's so many people. If you guys don't know me, you guys might not know that I do a basketball podcast called Full Court Press, and so we have a lot of different basketball insiders on from all over the state. And so people have always said to me, you need to be in Little Rock. You need to be immersed in the basketball scene in Little Rock. And so, I kind of said, you know what? I'm gonna do that. You guys
There you
want
go.
me there? You guys want to, do more with me there? Let's do it. So
Yeah.
we're still covering the Hogs. We're still doing a bunch with that, but we're kind of going to be really, really hitting some great basketball coverage in Central Arkansas as well, and high school coverage, but also, covering the Trojans. Darrell Walker is a great program over there.
Yeah.
UCA, all of the teams that are over in this region here, Arkansas State as well. So we got a lot of good ones. So I'm really, really excited about that. But I can't officially announce exactly where I'm headed yet. But that's a little teaser for you guys right there.
Well, we were hoping to break the story on the Hawg
Yeah.
Slop podcast, but hey, well, if you're
Yeah.
gonna be like that, be like that.
We asked
I
the board
would.
getting questions.
Yeah, no, that's great, and like you said, I mean, that's especially in high school sports. That's where like right now in football, a lot of the great high school recruits are going elsewhere,
Oh.
but the Arkansas basketball is a huge thing, and so I think that's an awesome thing, and the more you can promote basketball in Arkansas, the better. So, good job. Looking forward to
Thanks.
hearing the rest of that as it comes out. Now, did you grow up in Florida?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Right.
not really, not really. So my backstory is kind of weird. I'm a basketball gal through and through, and I grew up. The reason why is because my dad was a professional basketball coach and has been a basketball coach all his life. Has moved through the college ranks, went over to England, to London to coach the London Leopards, which is a team that is in the British Basketball League. And so he went and was over there and got to coach over there. Coached against some greats, I mean. Nick Nurse was one of the coaches that he coached against when he was over there. A lot of people go, "Whoa, Chris Finch, another
Yeah.
name."
Wow.
Like these are big names, big NBA names that he's had an opportunity to coach against, and they may have not won against him. He's pretty good at what he does. So, I like to if they're listening to the podcast, you can't beat my dad. It's fine. But
That little trash talk, we like it. Good
little
job.
trash talk there.
Yeah.
But he met my mom over there. My mom is English through and through, has an accent, all of the above. And so I was born actually in England, lived there for 10 years of my life, and then moved to the United States. So then I moved to Texas first, hated Texas. I think I always knew I would hate the Longhorns and hate like the Aggies and everybody because I just hated Texas. I'm so sorry if you're from Texas. I'm so sorry.
Nope.
But I
Well,
didn't.
I live there, and yeah, my favorite part because I'm deep inside, I'm a troll, and so I talk junk. I talk more junk when we're losing than when we're winning.
There you go. There you go.
So I get to talk junk a lot.
Yeah.
There you go. And so I'm not trying to hate on anybody who's listening to this podcast from Texas, but I feel like, it's easier to hate some of those teams from
Oh yeah.
Texas
Yeah.
because
Oh, it
It's
is.
very easy.
I
Very
didn't
Very
like
easy.
my time there. So when we didn't stay long in Texas, partially because I know I told my dad all the time, I was like, can we leave? Can we leave? And then we moved to Florida, and he coached a college D2 team in Florida for a very long time called Florida Tech. And so I moved there when I was young. And so that's where I obviously, there's a lot of people that know I'm a Gator, that I graduated from Florida. However, I say I'm converted Razorback because I have way more Arkansas gear in my closet now. I'm marrying an Arkansas boy, so he loves
There
the
you go.
Razorbacks. So it's just kind of like everyone they laugh at me because there's so many people who know I graduated from Florida and like, wait, but you love the Razorbacks now. Like those are people that don't even care about the Hogs, but they're like, you love Arkansas now. Like we're not dealing with
Yeah.
you. So
We'll accept converts. That's no problem. That's no
Hey.
problem at all. So,
hey, if I knew about Arkansas by the time I was choosing colleges, I probably would have chosen to go there.
well, I mean, you hate Texas, and now you love Arkansas, so you're good. No problem.
See,
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
I'm accepted.
yeah, you're accepted. You're marrying an Arkansas guy, so yeah, you're one of us. As long as you eat barbecue
Mm-hmm.
and
Done.
you're willing to maybe kill an animal every now and then.
If you count fishing, I haven't
There you go. That'll work.
I haven't progressed to, the
Yeah.
deer hunting and the duck hunting, but
Well-
I used to do some of that in England actually, like duck hunting. So
Yeah.
I'm
No.
close. I'm
Well,
close.
even if you just wear some of the gear that they wear, that's all you got to do. That's all.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Because as southern as this voice is, and it's bad, my southern accent's horrible, is I don't hunt or fish either way.
Yeah, Clint.
There's
Clint
nothing-
doesn't at all. Yeah, he's.
Yeah. We were. Have you ever seen the show Alone?
Yes, yeah.
So we were discussing on here because we have a group of 4 good friends. We're all real close. Me, Travis, our friend Robert Branscombe, and Wesley. We were talking about which one of us would be out first on the show Alone, and we all unanimously agreed it'd be me.
Yeah.
I'd be like that one guy on season 2 that got out there and saw bear poop and like, no, come back.
Yeah,
Bring the
I'm
boat
good.
back.
he's out.
Don't even leave. Just come on back.
Back to the hotel.
No reason for the buzzer. You can hear me. I know it. Come on back.
I'm the girl who likes to glamp, Have
Yeah.
a lot of people like like Big Cedar Lodge, if you go
Yeah,
up that
there you
way.
go.
I'm the girl who's like, ooh, glamping. That's
Yeah, yeah.
kind of
There
fun.
you
They're
go,
like,
yeah.
that's not even real camping. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
the one I can do.
No, my idea of camping is an Airbnb. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Done. A good cabin in the woods kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. Yeah. As long as it's got a comfy bed, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what we want to do, Courtney, is we want to go through the schedule, and we'll talk some more Razorback stuff. We got time at the end, and as we go through the schedule, but we this show is the one where we go through the schedule and kind of predict what we think. And here's the truth. Clint and I don't put a ton of thought into this. Okay, we're like good charismatic preachers or something. We're just letting the spirit move here. Okay, so we're just gonna let it go.
Move through you. Let it move through you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we just kind of work. We've looked at it. We thought about it a little bit. As I've thought about the schedule, I have this number in my head, but I haven't gone through and marked down exactly yet. So as we go through it, we're going to mark this down, and then we'll revisit it later on the show as the year goes on and kind of see how we're doing on this. And so, first game, Alabama A&M, August 30th at 3:15. Everybody going to say Arkansas going to win that one?
I don't think it.
Any chances of losing that one?
If they do not beat them by 45, Pittman might be fired. I don't know. Like that's how confident I am about them winning this, and that's not giving any discredit to Alabama A&M. I think they were talking to Travis Williams today, and he was like, how do you feel about them? And he kind of said something nice about, one of their coordinators and that he had heard nice things about him. And he was like, oh, that's great. And they're like, hey, they have like a really veteran quarterback. Like he's been there for like, and this is probably a joke, but like 7 years, he's been there for a
Yeah,
really long time.
yeah,
And that's like great, but you're still Alabama A&M. And so
yeah.
they need to beat them by 40. This is by far, and you guys know this, I'm not saying anything new, the easiest game on their schedule.
Oh, for sure.
You start with the easiest game on your schedule.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's great. You're in Fayetteville. You have a lot of
Yep.
confidence. They need to absolutely go out and pummel this team. That's my opinion. So
Yep. You're finally getting that start at home you've been asking for with the bad schedules you've had. I
Yep.
agree with you totally. Travis Williams was just doing the old Lou Holtz, the other guys, the Heisman front runner kind of thing,
Yeah, you can't go out there and say, look, we both know we should just smoke this team.
Yep.
All right. So the next game is a little more interesting. Arkansas State in Little Rock, in the Rock. Okay.
The game we've avoided for years.
The game we've avoided for years. And Courtney, just to be upfront with you.
Okay.
I'm the old guy, get off my lawn. I don't think they should play this game. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm old school. I'm Frank Broyles. I know what he was thinking. I don't see there's a win at all. I mean, that there's a positive at all for Arkansas in this. I think if you win, oh, well, you beat up little brother. If you lose, you just got beat by little brother. Okay?
True.
So
True.
That's my thought on it, but it's happening. It's done. So what do you think? Courtney, you think Arkansas State's got a shot at all in this game?
I don't, and that's saying I'll give credit to Arkansas State. Look, I like Butch Jones. I like him. Like I love that they are excited about this game. But I think you're right. There is something to be said, right, about the fact that hey, this game has been a long time coming, but it doesn't really benefit Arkansas. It benefits Arkansas State. It really does. It does benefit Arkansas State because here's the thing, right? Arkansas State loses. Well, okay, everyone thought you were going to lose. No harm, no foul. But if they win there's a reason why Butch came out and said, this is our Super Bowl.
Yep.
That there's a reason why, because if they win that game, oh my gosh, they're suddenly in a lot of conversations of going, whoa, how bad is Arkansas? And is Arkansas State better than people have projected? And so I've seen a couple of Arkansas State's practices. I'm not really worried about them. The only thing I could be worried about is if they make things interesting. I still think Arkansas would win, obviously, but I worry about them making things interesting because of the drive, because of the want. Because of how big this game is for them. I worry that they start, you start to see here, that's where you start to see players become heroes when you set up things in this situation. So yes, I don't like that this game is being played. Okay, it's being played. Arkansas needs to go out there. I'm going to say as well, like Alabama A&M, you need to crush them. I think the spread is what? I mean, I was looking at, is it like 34.5? Is that the
something
spread?
like that? I haven't heard the latest, but it seemed like it was something like that.
Yeah, it needs to be a game they win by 4 touchdowns.
It needs to be a game they win by 4 touchdowns. I exactly agree. I'm like, you need to win this game by at least 40 points.
Yep.
You just need to put them away. You need to put them away early, and you just need to say, thanks for playing us. Have a great day.
Because once again, back to my point, it's not any positives in it for Arkansas. If they keep it close, if you only win by 7 to 10 points, then Arkansas State can go back saying, man, we had them where we wanted them. If we had only that one pass, that one fumble, that one interception, it would have changed the momentum,
And doubt starts to creep in these players' minds, right? Because they're going to read the same stuff that gets put out after the game. And if they keep it close, Arkansas's players are going to be like, are we not good? Are we not as good as we thought we would? The spread was this, and we let Arkansas State, our little brother, so to speak. I call him the annoying little cousin. I don't even consider them a brother. I'm just like, you're an annoying little cousin over there, right?
Yeah.
But we let them give us a scare, and that's going to change everyone's perspective about Arkansas, and it may start to creep in the players' mind, even if they were good, even if everything we're saying about them is true and that they're going to be better than last year, doubt's going to creep in their minds, and that's not good. even if you win that game, but you keep it close with them.
If you're a coach, you cannot let your players take that game lightly. Even though they're a mediocre Sun Belt team or what are they? They're not Sun Belt anymore, are they?
No, they're sorry.
Whatever they are.
I cut you off. I
I
apologize.
thought there's Sun Belt on college football 26. I know that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then that's the gospel. But no, anyway, they're even though, okay, all that, you cannot let your players overlook them at all.
Mhm.
So everybody have a win on that one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Next up, we go to the dirty. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, dirty. I'll call them dirty. Ole Miss. And here's the problem with the Arkansas State game. Are they going to be focused on revenge for this game too much to where they let Arkansas State get a little too close? I still think they beat Arkansas State even if they let them get a little too close. But that, to your point earlier, is that if they let them hang out too close, it looks bad. But I think this is the game that a lot of players have circled.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one that, because they got embarrassed last year. Courtney, what are you thinking on Ole Miss this year?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's a lot of unknowns about Ole Miss as well, so this could go either way. Seriously, this could go either way. I think, especially with Luke Haas being probably out for the season, is the word on the street over from the Ole Miss camps as well. I was worried that it might be like a Luke Haas, like I'm ready to show up and show out against my former team a little bit, but now I'm like, okay. You don't have him, so that makes me feel a little bit better about that scenario. But I mean, you still have a lot of former Hogs on that team, so that's not great either. But I think with Ole Miss, I think it's going to be hard to go to Oxford and get a win. So this is where I'm going to be conservative, right? I think that Lane Kiffin is going to outbest Sam Pittman, and I think that that's going to be a win for Ole Miss and a loss for Arkansas, and that's going to be Arkansas's first loss of the season there. That is a tough road environment to go into, and there's still going to be a lot of things we don't know about Arkansas, but I'm only saying that conservatively because for myself, right, guys, I've been to practices, I've seen what this team can do. I feel good about this team on paper. That's going to be a real test for them to go to Oxford and try and win that game. That really
and
is.
like you said, you really don't know what Ole Miss has either.
You don't. I mean,
because last
Jackson
year they
Dart's not there. I mean,
Well, and last year they had one of the most talented teams, and against us they looked like it, but there were some other games they didn't look like they had the most talented team because they didn't play, cohesive. Okay, Clint, what do you think on that game?
Well, Ole Miss is replacing the quarterback, and one thing about Lane Kiffin, he's got to feel good about Austin Simmons because Lane Kiffin loves getting in the portal and poaching other people's players. He didn't go poach a quarterback. He's rolling with Austin Simmons. So I'm with Courtney here. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to take Ole Miss, but this is a winnable game.
It is. It is a winnable game.
It's a winnable game, but until they show me they can win most of these winnable games, it's hard to pick them. And so I'm going to pick Ole Miss because I've got them having a big upset, but it's not going to be at Ole Miss.
I have them having a big upset too. I also think it's not going to be Ole Miss, and for the reasons you said, I think Lane feels good about Austin Simmons, but also this is a team that, seriously, guys, Ole Miss has had a ton of turnover. I believe they had the most turnover of any team in the SEC. They had to replace so much, and now But here's the thing: having said that, I feel confident, like you mentioned. Lane Kiffin going in the portal and getting what he needs. I mean, that is the bonus you have when you have a guy like Lane Kiffin as your head coach, where you're like, okay, I'm just going to reload. We still feel confident. I'm just going to reload with what we need. And so that's why I think, okay, Ole Miss might have the edge there because he went out and he said, this is what we're going to go out and get. This is what we feel like how we need to reload. And they did well in the portal. They did well there. So I want to see more from Arkansas. I just think they get this loss early, but then maybe that it kind of tells them some things about themselves that Arkansas goes, okay, this will either hurt them moving forward, or they could turn around and go, you know what? We took a loss in the SEC. It's going to fuel us to get some wins
Yeah.
later on in the season. It's a tough season, guys, for a reason. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm giving them the win on this one. And
It's unusual. Travis is positive
I've been
and I'm
trying to
not.
talk myself out of that. Okay. But for some reason, here's one thing. Okay. I think last year, Pooh Paul was telling them how to attack our defense. I really do. I think because we had to run zone so much. He had ran it in the past when we ran a lot of zone when he was there before. I think that's why they tore our defense up. And I think Travis Williams is going to be ready for that this year better. Now he's there. You got Braxton there. He knows our defense pretty good. That can help too. Okay. So I understand that. But I think, I really do. And I think the emotion of it, because of the way they embarrassed them, I think Sam Pittman's going to give the best pregame speech he's ever given, because I don't think he likes Kiffin. He's never going to say that out loud, but the tweets that Kiffin's done are going to be posted everywhere they can be posted. And I think, and I really do, I think the Arkansas State game is going to be closer than it should be, because I think they're getting ready for this game. And I think that it's going to be just an emotional win. Okay. So I'm going to give them the W there.
Okay.
Don't put any money on it. But anyway, all right. Next we go to Memphis.
Why are we playing this game?
The why in the world. And their stadium's even jacked up right now. So,
yeah, but you could say that about a lot of games on the schedule
true.
this year.
Yeah,
like, why are they playing this game?
Yeah,
why are they doing this to themselves?
Yeah. All right. So, Courtney, what do you think about Memphis?
Yeah, I think Memphis right now, there's so much uncertainty about their team. I was just talking about Ole Miss doing a lot of roster turnover. Yeah, Memphis had a whole lot of roster turnover with their squad. There is so many unknowns. Memphis fans have told me, like, we just really don't know what we have. We just really don't feel confident about this. And I also think about this, guys. I think if they do lose to Ole Miss, they're going to go into this game ticked off. I think Taylor Green's going to be ticked off. I think that entire team is going to be ticked off. That offense, Mike Washington, all the receivers. I think the defense, Xavier Sort, like they're all going to be ticked off that they lost their first game in the SEC. So I think they're going to come back with a vengeance. I think it's a perfect opportunity to do that against Memphis. I'm not taking anything away from Memphis. I know they have been good the past few years. I know they have been. But here's the thing. It's a different Memphis team. And I also think that stadium, believe it or not, you can thank all the times Arkansas's been to the Liberty Bowl, because guess what? They're used to that stadium. They really are. And Talon talked with me in the offseason about how comfortable he was there.
Yeah.
He's like, I think it's okay we're playing Memphis because we're actually comfortable in that stadium. We're not, I don't feel, oh gosh, it's an away game, because he's like, a lot of our fans are going to show up. One, we're going to have a ton of fans there. It's honestly felt a little bit like, for a lot of these players who have been here for multiple years, Campbell, for one, it's like a home away from home.
Yeah.
And so they feel comfortable. I think that's a bonus. So that's why I'm giving them the win here. I think that's a W for me. W, check.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. And the thing about a school like Memphis is, if you're a good player at Memphis, you're not staying at Memphis. That's just the reality of the transfer portal era. When you've got a team that can go into somewhere like Florida State and beat them, you're going to lose a lot of players off that team, especially, a lot of your starters and your all-conference type guys. And so I think Arkansas is going to win this one pretty comfortable. It still makes no sense. We should not be playing at Memphis. I understand that we are. I believe this was a Jeff Long thing.
It was decided, because this was decided after the Notre Dame series. So this was decided, what I want to say, around like 2020, sometime around then, 2021.
Oh, so it'd been
okay. So it was a year check then.
So yeah, I don't think it was a Jeff. I could be wrong on that, but I really want to say that it was decided.
Well, we can just blame him.
after the Notre Dame one. You can blame him, but I really want to say
it's fun to blame Jeff Long for things.
Blame him alone.
now Notre Dame was decided in 2017.
We wouldn't be
so.
playing at Memphis if Houston Nutt would hire an offensive coordinator.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. There you go.
That's right. Well, I have them for the win also. And y'all have said a lot of good things. And just to kind of add to what you said about the fans, that's get a little bit of your Little Rock crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's going to be your people that can't always make it up to Fayetteville, but they can make it over there because it's going to be a little cheaper trip for them. They don't have to get 2 nights of hotel. And those other people that tend to be a little rowdier. So it's going to, that helps the atmosphere. Players love that. Because that's one thing, Little Rock has, is the players always talk about how good the fans are there. Now the stadium itself is, all that. But anyway, so I think I agree with the win there. Next is September 27th, 11 a.m. Touchdown Jesus comes to Fayetteville. Touchdown Jesus. So
I guess Courtney's not feeling it.
Look, Clint's a huge Rudy fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
And
Clint.
now me and Clint grew up at a time, we grew up in the country in Central Arkansas where, now his grandparents had one of those big old satellites in the yard. Okay. But I didn't have cable. So my second favorite team is Notre Dame. Okay. Because it's the Razorbacks. But it's Notre Dame because I could watch them on NBC every week, and they were more than Arkansas was in Arkansas. Okay,
wow.
At that time because we had 3 channels, and so it was so. This is a big game. Who do you think's going to win? The national champion runner-up?
But the look on her face, I have a feeling she's going to pick Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, guys. I told you I was gonna be conservative, and I just think, I really feel good about this Arkansas team, but I'm not gonna pick them against Marcus Freeman led team. I'm just not. I mean, and I could be totally wrong. Okay, I hope I am. I hope that 11 a.m. crowd is rowdy in Razorback Stadium. I hope I'm so wrong. I also don't think it helps that this game is at 11 a.m. I don't, because here's the problem, guys. Here's where I feel like could be the issue is you've set this game at 11 a.m. and this is a game that nationally is being talked about, right?
Yeah.
This is a historic matchup. This is being talked about. I have people that do not give a lick about Notre Dame or Arkansas, do not give a lick about either of those teams, that are really NFL fans, right? Who are asking me for tickets to this game because of how historic it is and how crazy this game will be. And you set it at 11 a.m.? What?
Yeah.
What? If I'm Hunter Yurachek, I'm serious, guys. If I'm Hunter Yurachek, I'm walking straight to the TV people and I'm saying, you can't air this game on TV, because that's how disrespectful that was to do that. That's how disrespectful it was. I don't care. I don't care whatever you want to say, whatever reason you want to give him, whatever cute little, no. Disrespectful. This game should not be at 11 a.m. And I think there's a lot of people from both fan bases that feel like that. So I don't think that helps Arkansas, because here's the problem. What if we're talking about a team, right? And let's say I'm wrong. Let's say they lose to Ole Miss and they lose to Memphis. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say they're 2-2, right? At this point. You think the fan base wants to get up for an 11 a.m. Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about kids that might turn around and say, I'm done. A fan base that is already so much out on Pittman. How are you going to get him up for this game and excited? So that's what I worry about. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but that's what I worry about as well. That how many people are going to be. Now, if this team is 4-0 going into that game, we're a different story. We're a different story now. I'm changing my prediction, baby, because I'm like, woo-hoo-hoo. I'm like, you're
Well,
gonna
and
have
one
it.
of us has them at 4-0 going into this
Well,
game.
that's what I'm saying. So you might have to pick them in this game because I like the odds better in that situation than I
Yeah.
do in my situation. So I'm picking a loss. I'm not going to pick against Marcus Freeman. I think he's a fabulous coach.
Yeah.
I think he's got all the pieces he needs, for this season. I know they replaced some guys. I know that they've had to do that. They've replaced their quarterback for one,
Yeah.
and so I know that they're going into the season with a new quarterback. But still, I still like them. So I'm still going with them. And that's not because I don't like this Arkansas team. That's just because this
Yeah.
Notre Dame team is in a different level right now. And I'm sorry about that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because it'd be so cool to get them.
You are, but that's okay. I told you I had one big upset this year, and I think for listen, Notre Dame coming into this game is going to have played at Miami. They're going to host Texas A&M, and then the week before they play us, they play Purdue.
Okay, Barry Odom.
Barry Odom's going to wear them out for us.
So here's the thing: just that Miami game, that Texas A&M game, they're going to have a few more bumps and bruises than we are, I think.
That's true. That's true.
Plus, they're going to Arkansas. Arkansas is going to be up for this game. I mean, everyone's going to be up for this game. It's like it's freaking Notre Dame. I mean, me and Travis are both pushing 50. And Courtney, how old? I'm joking.
Easy, Rick Schaefer.
That's the only reason I did it. And I did really good. I just played around. But and so the thought of Arkansas playing Notre Dame is mind blowing to me. This is something I never thought I would see in my lifetime, and now we're going to see it in Fayetteville. And I think we're going to be up for it. And
no matter what the record is.
Well, I have us 3-1 going into the game.
Yeah.
So if you win this game, then I think you really talk about it. This is when it can change the projection of your season. Yeah. When you're coming in 3-1, you're hosting Notre Dame, you win that game, then you're 4-1, going and finishing the SEC play. Then that just totally changes the conversation about the team. And I think they know that. I think they're going to be hungry. And plus, like you said, Notre Dame's breaking in a new quarterback.
Yeah, they are.
The one advantage Arkansas does have is they have the quarterback situation figured out.
They do.
What Notre Dame is going to have, they've got two. They haven't named a starter yet. They've got two inexperienced guys fighting for that job. Well, what happens when you got two guys coming in fighting for a job? There's one guy that's going to win it. There's one guy that's going to lose it. There's going to be, and we've seen this in Arkansas on working in the media. The other guy always should have won the job. And so let's say they lose to Texas A&M and Miami, and they're coming into Arkansas 1-2. That's a realistic scenario. And then if you have quarterback issues, and then that cancer will spread within the team. So who knows what's going to happen? So there's a lot of things. I'm picking the Hogs on this one.
Well,
wow.
I'm going with the loss on it. I'm agreeing with Courtney on it. I hope they do. I hope Arkansas does well. I hope Clint's right. But
they have a pretty darn good defense over there too. We haven't talked about that.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Marcus Freeman's led defense.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
That man is a defensive guy. He's a defensive mastermind. Yeah.
So I have touchdown Jesus going home with the win there. So
yep.
All right, next is the revenge game for Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's got this one circled. I guarantee you that.
At Knoxville. It's a flex game, either 2:30 or 7 p.m. is what I'm showing on the schedule.
And we are coming off a bye week too.
Yep.
Which will probably be much needed after that stint we had at the beginning there. Courtney, what do you think about Tennessee?
All right, so here's where I'm optimistic, y'all. Here's where I'm optimistic. I have buddies who cover Tennessee. I've heard a lot about what's going on in their camp right now, and they got some big question marks. And I think they're not as confident right now as people want to believe that they are. And so this is where I think Arkansas can go to Tennessee and really, if they have lost to Notre Dame, if they've lost to Ole Miss, I think this is their first SEC win, right? Like I think that, and they've lost. So right now they've lost to Notre Dame, they've lost to Ole Miss. And that was all because I had them winning at Memphis. So yeah,
Yeah.
they just have 2 losses, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They won an SEC win, right? So
Yeah.
I think they go. I think they go to Tennessee. They have their number. Um, you know, I think they go and beat them. I really do. And I know people are going to say that's crazy of me, but I really think they go on the road somewhere to one of these hostile environments and they win a game. And I think that's Tennessee right now with all the question marks they have. And I really do believe, guys, there is something when you have a question mark at quarterback and they had all of the Nico situation go down and all of
Yeah.
that happened and Tennessee fans were like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
what is going to happen? I could be totally wrong, but everything I'm hearing from their camp is going, okay, we really are a little worried now going
Yeah.
into the season because everybody thought something of us and everyone thought we were going to be good and now we're just like, oh, what is this team going to look
Yeah.
like? And so I don't feel confident enough about Tennessee just to confidently say that they'll win that game. I think Arkansas has enough weapons. I think Taylor Green can win that ball game. Seriously, I'm going to take Taylor Green in that game.
Yeah.
100%. I'm going to take this offense, what I've seen out of Mike Washington, what I've seen out of these receivers. I think that Arkansas has more of their question marks answered right now than Tennessee. That's how I feel. It's a W. It's a W in Neyland.
Okay.
Crazy environment. W in Neyland.
I
Clint?
really, really hope you're right. I'm picking Tennessee because I think it's just they're due against us, and because we beat them in 2020,
Yep.
beat them last year. I think Tennessee is just
Arkansas's had their number for a little bit. They've
yeah.
been a little
We've had
upset.
their number. We've had their number, and it is. I'm going to pick Tennessee. I don't have an overwhelming feeling about it, but I think this is just going to be a game. Tennessee's going to be up for it. We stormed the field last year. They remember that, and I'm sure they're going to remind them of 2020 when we beat them then too. So I'm with no confidence. I'm picking Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, Courtney made a great argument.
She about
Lots
talked
of
to
great arguments.
Arkansas. Really
and
did.
yeah, and I was about to say she's almost talked me into it, but
Yes, that's my goal.
I have that same feeling Clint does about the loss.
No.
And so I just I think it's a revenge game in the same way that Ole Miss is a revenge for us. I think it's and look, and I'll acknowledge it doesn't make sense that I'm picking them to beat Ole Miss and lose to Tennessee. It seems crazy.
Yeah, because if you're picking them to beat Ole Miss, I mean, I would definitely pick them to beat
But
Tennessee.
yeah,
Like, really.
but as Billy Joe says, you may be right. I may be crazy. So
He did say that.
he did
Yeah,
say that.
he did say that. Okay.
So anyway, so I have them as a loss at Knoxville. And part of that is playing at Knoxville because that is, one of the toughest environments in the SEC. Next one up is A&M finally comes to Fayetteville. It's not a neutral site game anymore, thank goodness. No longer in Jerry's world because we got lots of demons in Jerry's world we need to rebuke.
Courtney, do you
Get
like
rid
the
of.
game being home and home, or do you prefer it to be at Jerry's World?
Okay, so here's my half and half on this, right? So y'all know I went to Florida, right? And we play Georgia, right, every single year in Jacksonville in the Jaguar Stadium, neutral site game, right?
Yeah.
And I've always talked to the players about that game, right? And I've talked to the fans about it, and they love it because they're like, A, it's fun to go to Jacksonville. It's fun to go to a neutral site because the stadium is half and half. So it's really,
Yeah.
really fun. And also for the players, it helps with recruiting because they want to play. There are some players that genuinely are like, that will push them over the edge to go somewhere because it's like, well, they get to play in an NFL stadium. And what if I don't make the league? And what if I don't get to play there? At least I have that opportunity to tell my kids I've played there. And so I know there's a lot of players out there right now that were thinking about that game and going, I get to play in Cowboy Stadium. How cool is that? And that's a really cool stadium. Like, let's be honest. Like, Jerry did something right there. And I love, sorry, shot at Jerry Jones. Sorry. But Jerry, don't kill me. But
Can't sign Micah Parsons. Anyway,
yeah, exactly. And please do that.
Yeah.
But regardless of how you feel about Jerry Jones, that stadium is really nice. And so I understand. So my answer to you is I do like playing there because I think it is good for the players. It's a good recruiting tool. It's good for the fans to have a neutral site game. I think that's always fun. I get why people don't like it. And honestly, it's been so horrible for Arkansas. I'm like, nah, change the juju,
Yeah.
get it back. And I know a lot of people also want to go to College Station. That's a cool,
Yeah.
however you feel about the Aggies. I've never been to a game in College Station. That's one of the SEC places I haven't been to.
Yeah.
So I would love to go there for a game. So take what you will. That's how I feel about it. But having said all those things, I don't know if I can confidently pick Arkansas on this. I want the juju to have been changed, but I just don't think I can pick Arkansas here, only because they have shown me nothing to show me that they can actually rid the demons and beat the Aggies, even though it's going to be in Fayetteville. So, I mean, I feel like it's going to come down to like a field goal. It's going to be horrible. It's going to come down to like a field goal. And Scott Starzik, who, we've liked him in fall camp, but at the end of the day, he has missed some kicks.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. He's missed some kicks,
Yeah.
He was kicking in front of the chancellor the other day and he made one, he missed one.
Yeah.
So there was some pressure there. It's going to come down to a high pressure situation. Scott Starzik's going to come out there and he's going to have been good all year, guys. I feel it. I feel like he's going to be all right. He's going to be made. He's might be like 90, 7% at this point or whatever. He's gonna have just like missed one, and he's gonna
Yeah.
come down. The game's gonna come down to him, and he's gonna miss it. That is how I feel this game going. I hope I'm not right,
Yeah.
but that is what I feel. Show me, like literally, I want Arkansas to say, if you want me to pick you in this game, you have got to win one. You have got to do it. All right,
Yeah.
please. You're going to hear this argument again for somebody else a little bit later on, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm picking Arkansas on this one. I think it's one of them deals. It's a good game every year. I mean, they've never. I think there was one year they beat us by a good like 17 somewhere in there, but for the most part, it's been doesn't matter if Jimbo's been
Yeah,
there.
it's been close.
Yeah.
it has been close. It has been close.
It's always close. I think, I really think one of the things that hopefully, and you've been in practice, and seen some, hopefully, they're not turning the ball over like they have in the past.
They haven't been turning, but here's the problem when you talk about turnovers in practice, right, guys?
Sure.
Because yes, Walt Taylor Green looks awesome and he's making his reads and he's looking good. The defense isn't. They even said it today where Travis Williams is like, we're not trying to kill Taylor Green, right? We're not trying to kill him. That would be stupid of us. And so a lot of the way we're gonna have to put more pressure on the quarterback in order to, get more turnovers and things like that. And they're just not going to do a lot of those things in practice. So right, they're not turning the ball over. But what about when you face an SEC defense
Yep.
that's relentless, that don't care about
100%.
Taylor Green's health? And I'm not saying that the offensive line looks better. So look, I could be totally wrong, but yeah, they are holding on to the ball. My question is, what is it going to look like against another SEC defense?
Yep.
And can Arkansas's defense force a turnover? Because we haven't seen them force a lot of turnovers, and that's been an emphasis in practice. So sorry, I'm being the bad guy here.
No,
Please
you're good.
don't
I
hate
am going to pick Arkansas just because I think, year 200 Petrino, maybe if they've cleaned up the turnovers, I think this is a very winnable game. Easy enough for me to say.
I'd take Taylor Green over Marcel Reed. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I would. Can I be honest? I would.
And back to your point about the turnovers in practice, one of Petrino's MOs is in practice, he sets it up to where his offense looks good and puts up big stats. He always has. When he was here the first time, Ryan Mallett, Casey Dick, all those guys were putting up big numbers in practice. They were running 170 plays and completing like crazy. My big concern is always when we play teams like A&M is they get some studs on the line. And especially can our defensive line hold up to their offensive line this year? We love Cam Ball. He's been on our show a couple times. One of our favorite people in the world. But that's where we have some depth issues. And so I have concerns there. So I have them losing that game.
And your concerns are very valid because this is something I have said throughout fall camp. You guys have probably heard me talk about this on the show. Like, where am I least confident right now? It's not the offense. Like, I feel like I'm confident in Taylor Green and the jump he's made in year 2. I'm confident about the running back room right now, the running backs room, because they look really, really good. Mike Washington is a stud. Braylon Russell is awesome. Rodney Hill is a great addition, is a great extra addition to that room too. I like the wide receivers. Where I get nervous is defensive line and secondary. Not concerned about the linebackers. I feel like they have good depth there.
Yeah.
Defensive line, when you hear something like this come out of Sam Pittman's mouth, where you're like, David Oki, who's in the second team, right? He's dealing with some issues. Hey, he might not be back for maybe the first game, maybe the first few games. We don't know. That is, if your second string is already down and now you're going, well, we don't know who we're going to turn to. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem where your offensive line, compare that to what the offensive line was telling you. Eric Mateos was telling you the other day, where he goes, man, our backup last year to every position was just literally one dude. And now we have backups to every position, right? Like, that's
They're not
good.
saying that. Yeah.
You're not seeing that on the defensive line. So that's what scares me, where I'm like, they can't go 3 deep. Like, we have like 3 centers. Like, one center goes down, Kittler goes down. You got, and you've got 2 guys behind them, Cash Courtney and Brooks Edmondson, that can do the job, that looked fine in practice.
And Edmondson is third string, and he was that guy he's talking about that was the backup at all the positions last year.
Yeah, but he's still, well, I think he was, Joe Moore was the backup
Joe
for like
Moore.
everything. Joe Moore was like the backup for everything. Joe Moore, it was like literally backup right guard, Joe Moore, backup Joe Moore. And I was like,
because he was older. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he came over from Syracuse and all of that. But to, like, literally, it's like crazy when you look at the offensive line, you go, wow, they've got depth there. Then you go to the defensive line, and Sam Pittman's like, yeah, we're gonna have to find a backup there. What do you mean you're gonna have to find a backup there? You don't have the depth.
And like you said, and Oki is not only is he your backup, but he is your backup that has experience.
Exactly.
He's not because you got all these other guys that are young.
Freshmen. They're all like who they're looking at as a freshman to step up. And to be honest, guys, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm not. Freshmen are awesome. I love seeing freshmen get a shot. On the defensive line, that scares me just a little bit. Scares me just a little bit. So I agree with you completely. I was just backing up your point there just a little bit. So,
Clint, did you say win or loss?
I guess A&M has a win.
You said win. That's what I thought. Okay. That's what I wrote down, but I was just making sure I didn't write it down wrong. All right. Next up, the the Hugh Freeze Auburn War Eagle Tigers. That's at home, isn't it? Yeah, that's at home.
Yeah, it's at home.
Yeah.
It's an early game, 11 a.m. or noon is what I'm showing here on the schedule I got. Courtney, what do you think on Auburn?
Yeah, I think Arkansas handles them, quite honestly, guys. I think this is one of the more, not gimme games on the schedule. I just feel much more confident about picking Arkansas to win that game over a team like Ole Miss or Tennessee, although I did pick them against Tennessee, so I like them to get an upset there in Knoxville. But I feel much more confident about saying that they can handle this Auburn team. I mean, it goes without saying, Hugh Freeze right now is like, little bit worried about his job security, right? A little bit worried about that. They have got to win some games this year, and he has got to prove that he should still be coaching at Auburn next year. So I think Arkansas has a better team right now. And honestly, you can go ask Auburn people. They feel the same way. I was literally talking to somebody who covers that team the other day and had to do the same thing, had to go through and pick all the games. And they're like, yeah, on every one of my preseason predictions, they lose it. They lose in Fayetteville. They lose at Fayetteville. It's a great atmosphere. They're like, even at 11 a.m., he was like, yeah, I really feel confident about what you guys have offensively. And even if the defense isn't as good as you guys hope they are, I still think you can handle Auburn. So I'm going to pick Auburn. I think that's a win. I hope so. That's a win.
I agree with you. And we were talking about Arkansas State earlier. One thing I was going to say about Butch Jones, I really feel like he's I don't know if Butch Jones is an SEC football coach. Obviously, it did not go well for him at Tennessee, but he is great at a lower level. He really is. And I think, while Hugh Freeze had some success at Ole Miss, it was because he was doing some less than favorable things to get in some better players. And I don't think, when the talent's even, I don't think Hugh Freeze is that great of a football coach.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah.
I think if it's, obviously we had that 1 year, but that team at that point, was kind of it quit. There's that 4-8 team. That team didn't care about being out there.
Yeah.
And now, I just think it's one of them days. They don't like Auburn, and I think they're going to beat the crap out of Hugh Freeze.
Well, and at Auburn, the fans are complaining because he's playing too much golf. John Gruden's the next head coach at Auburn. Arkansas wins.
Say no more. Say no more. Say no more.
My gosh. Mississippi State. They'll afternoon game 2:30 is what they're saying here, I believe. 2:30 to 3, something like that. November 1st at Fayetteville. How about those Bulldogs?
Yeah, the Arkansas better be winning this game. I'm going to say that right now. You better not. I'm picking Arkansas to win. They are a better team. If they lose to Mississippi State, we got problems. We got problems. Yeah. They were picked to finish last in the SEC for a reason.
That's right.
For a reason, guys.
No, I agree with you 110%. There's 16 teams in the SEC. Mississippi State's number 16.
And it was fair to say that. It was fair to say that. So
and
I'm sorry. You're not losing to them. I don't even want to entertain the idea. I don't even want to Arkansas's winning that game. Signed, sealed, delivered. Gotcha. Send it on.
So word to Mississippi State fans, if you're out there, Dak Prescott is not walking through that door. Arkansas wins that one. Next up, now on this show, we're pretty open about our hate to LSU. Okay. So, especially I live in South Arkansas. So I'm down here not too far, just about an hour or so away from the Louisiana line. I deal with these stupid Cajun LSU fans all the time. Go to church with them, work with them. I got to see that purple and gold way too often. Got to see them spell things with the EAUX way too often. However, Arkansas goes down to Death Valley. And LSU's got a pretty decent squad, including a pretty salty QB running things. Courtney, what do you think of that game?
Yeah, guys, I would love to say, especially with Arkansas, because they're coming off a bye week, right? That's their second bye, right? Yeah. The week before that. So I would love that bye came at a good time because you're going to need it. They're going to need it going into this brutal last part of the schedule here. I think LSU they've got a solid squad. I mean, they do. They could fizzle out. They could not live up to expectations, but I think they have a really, really solid team. You couple that with you have to go to LSU, and I have been there, guys, and it is a terrifying. There is a reason. Like people are like, "What is the scariest environment in the SEC?" And I have to say, I'm like, it's LSU. LSU is. It is hard to play there. I can't even hear myself think. There are usually places I'll be able to talk to people, Bryant Denny, even Neyland, I'll be able to at least hear myself think and talk. It's loud, but there you don't even try. Yeah. Don't even try. I just don't know how they're going to go up against this LSU team that really, really looks good. I mean, guys, this is a team that could win the SEC, really. I feel really good about them. I picked them to win the SEC in my preseason, poll predictions and stuff. I didn't pick Texas. No, I picked them because I'm like, this is a team like Garrett Nussmeier. I'm taking Garrett Nussmeier over, no offense, Arch Manning. Yeah. I think he is a good quarterback. So I'm gonna pick LSU, and I'm really sorry about
Yeah.
it.
No,
I feel horrible.
Don't
I'm-
feel
I'm-
sorry. Don't feel sorry.
No, don't feel sorry. This is the third time in my lifetime that I think we're going to play against an LSU winning Heisman quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier. He shredded us last year. Absolutely, just picked us apart. I don't see us winning this game. I do think Garrett. The only person that could really screw up this LSU team would be Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I really think that this LSU team is going to be good. It pains me to say that. I'm taking LSU.
Well, and I think Kelly's finally figured out what accent he wants to go with, and I think he's also figured out that he needs a defense.
And don't be dancing on a stage to calling Baton Rouge a spinning stage.
That's
Like,
right. Yeah.
No, it's his dance moves are pitiful.
That's right. That's right.
You stick to coaching.
That's
dude.
right. That's
stick to
right.
coaching. I mean, he knows as well, guys. I hate to say this, even though LSU, like, this is crazy to say, but there are so many fans that like literally don't like Brian Kelly there.
Oh yeah.
There are so many fans that are
Yeah.
fed up with him. And even though, it's crazy to even say that his seat is warm there, but he knows that
Yeah.
if he doesn't make the playoffs with this team,
Yeah.
and possibly make a run in the playoffs. Like, I think LSU is going, all right, if you don't get to the national championship game with this squad, you have Garrett Nussmeier, you have
That's
all the
right.
weapons around him, you have a great defense. If you can't get there with this squad, you are seriously.
That's right.
We might see a coaching change sooner rather than later
Yeah.
there, really.
And
I'm gonna
that's
be
saying
honest
a
with
lot
y'all.
in this NIL where schools are going to be a lot slower to pay buyouts than they used to be. But I agree with you totally. If they don't make the playoff, that seat is very warm, very extremely hot.
I think there's a reason, guys. I'm gonna say a hot take real quick. I think there's a reason we saw the Nick Saban coaching rumors come out, right? Because I think there's been a conversation. I'm gonna say this. I think there might have been a conversation about that with LSU. I
No.
think there may have been a conversation about, hey, if I was to get back into coaching and you guys didn't want Brian Kelly anymore, what would it look like? What would it look like?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Definitely
just
would
saying.
not say. An agent at least had that conversation.
I'm
No,
telling you,
somebody
we
with
heard all those rumors, and I'm going, what team would he go? But he's not going to go to Alabama. He's not going
No.
to do that.
No.
They're not going to do that. That's not going to happen, guys. That's
No.
sorry. They're all in on the. They are all in over there. They're good. But Brian Kelly, he liked his time at LSU. I'm just saying.
And I guarantee you there's some folks with deep pockets that still have his cell phone number.
Well, and that freshman quarterback that showed a lot of promise in Mississippi State is also sitting on the bench at LSU.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. I got him as a loss there too, sadly. Next, November 22nd, my mother's birthday.
And we plan on being at the game.
We plan on being there.
I
Clint
live
lives.
In
2 hours from
Austin?
Austin. Yeah, I live 2 hours from Austin now. So
Oh, awesome.
So we're gonna-
awesome.
We're going to try to
I
plan
don't
on
know
going
Austin,
down there.
but I do.
Yeah, that's right. So, this dirty Longhorns. Okay. Courtney,
Oh,
what do you
wait,
think's going to
sorry.
happen?
There you
there
go.
you
That was
go.
late. That was late.
There you
Sorry,
go.
guys. I
There
just
you go.
saw
Let them
that.
hang. Let them hang. All right. So, what do you think on the Texas Arch Mannings?
So I'll be honest with you guys. I get the hype about Arch, and listen, he's probably good. He's probably gonna be great. I really worry about like if people are overhyping him right now. That's what I always worry about. I
Yeah.
go into a season. I go, there's a lot of hype around this man. There is a lot of hype, and I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Hopefully, he's a generational talent. We just haven't seen a lot from him. He's
Oh,
still
yeah. You're
he's
right.
still quite unproven,
Yeah.
and so. You guys are probably thinking, oh, she's going to pick Arkansas to win this. I don't think Arkansas can handle Texas's defense, to be honest with you. Texas got a whole lot more than just Arch Manning,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's played them in college football 26, but I win easily with them. So I'm like, Arch don't have to do nothing, basically, to just make things happen. So I'm going to pick Texas to win this game. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I want it to be the other way, because honestly, this past season I did pick Arkansas to beat Texas. this past season, and I really thought my wish was going to come true.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I really
That's
thought
right.
they had a chance.
Close. Yep.
They had a chance. A chance.
Almost.
Had a chance. At the end of the day, Texas is just the better football team.
Yeah.
I think Texas has more talent. Texas is the better football team. I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to cheer as loud as I can, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely picking Texas.
It makes me almost want to lose my supper to say it, but I picked Texas also. Same reasons. They got the best team money can buy. They have deeper pockets than most folks. I think that's one thing we've talked about on here before. A lot of people don't understand the money that, everyone says, well, Arkansas's got Walmart. Okay. The Walmart people, if they want to put some money together to buy a recruit, they got to go sell off some assets. Okay. Down in Texas, they just go dig some jars up out of their backyard because they got
Yep.
millions probably buried because they got old money sitting there. Okay.
But it's like everybody, like that we say Walmart here, right? We
Yeah.
go Walmart and the Hunts and
That's right.
Tyson, right? That's three names, right? That people
Yeah.
can name for Arkansas. Texas got like a laundry list.
Yep.
And it's not even like people that you know of who are
Oh,
millionaires.
yeah.
It's like the people who just have money who are there.
Yep.
And you're like, wait, how are you a millionaire? Like, you're my
Yeah.
neighbor. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck? You're not well known, but you have a lot of money and you're
That's
giving
right.
to the program. So I agree with you there. Texas, they're just gonna until they figure out this revenue share, if it even works, if it doesn't get, hit with antitrust violations galore,
Yeah.
Texas is gonna be good. That's just how
Yep.
it is. That's just how it is.
All right. Last game of the year, Missouri. Those Dirty Tigers.
Now, Travis, before we pick this last game, what does everybody have a record at right now going into the last game?
All right. Let's see. Let me
Because there may be something on the line at this point. There may not be.
I think for me there is. I think for maybe me there is. I think if I've counted
okay.
correctly.
Courtney, you have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Math is hard for
Oh.
you. I'm sorry.
I have more than
You
I have more than
6
4.
wins.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
6
they've
wins.
clinched a bowl. They clinched a
Yeah,
bowl.
you have 6 wins. Clint, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins.
Okay.
Also.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. Hey, with this schedule, guys.
Yeah. So y'all have us
yeah.
at 6-5 going into this game. I have us at 7-4.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we're kind of, we're still in the Liberty Bowl, Texas Bowl,
Yeah.
and this would be one of them games. I mean, I know bowl games. I mean, most of these guys that have earned the bowl game ain't going to play in it.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'm probably, they're playing for somewhere sunny like Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, somewhere nice, not the
That's
Liberty
right.
Bowl. Somewhere
That's
nice.
right. Yeah.
And they're going to Memphis again. Or no, they may go.
That'd
to
be terrible to have to play there during the season and play. Oh,
no, they'd probably go to the Texas Bowl at 6-6, 7-5.
yeah.
I don't think they would send them to the Liberty Bowl if they've already played there in the season. I think I think they would maybe have a little, maybe be nice to them and maybe somewhere else would bid on Arkansas. Honestly, it's how Arkansas plays in all of those games though, right? Because if Arkansas going into the end of the season, like, is a team that people want to get behind, like maybe they've played LSU and Texas close and people are like, oh, maybe, maybe this is a team that we should like watch. So it all of that plays into it, right? With where they get bids on different bowls and stuff.
Yeah.
So
all right. So how do you think Eli Drickowitz's team is gonna do against Arkansas this year?
So I'm going to use the same argument I did with Texas A&M because this is true.
That was coming. Yeah.
Well, sorry guys, I have to tell you this because I'm a person that's proved me when I'm wrong. Prove me that you can do it, right? Right? Missouri has had your dang number. What they've won the last 9 out of 10 matchups? Is that right?
Yeah.
Like 9
Something
out
like
of 10.
that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Ridiculous.
Something ridiculous. Missouri has Arkansas's number. And until, like, I don't know what needs to happen for Arkansas to wake up and be like, oh, we actually need to beat Missouri. Because if you're not going to consider them a rival, right, and you're going to be like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay, they don't consider you a rival either because most of their fans go, Arkansas's never beat us. We're not going to consider them a rival until Arkansas actually shows up and wins a few in this series. So I'd like Arkansas to prove it to me a little bit that, hey, you can actually win this game. So I'm going to have it as a loss. But honestly, again, I hope I'm wrong on that. Just like the Texas A&M one, I hope I'm wrong on those because I really do hope Arkansas gets they need a trophy. They need one. Can they get one trophy? Because I think I have them losing every single trophy game.
You do.
Yeah.
Sorry. Show me. Win one.
I've got us 1-1 in trophy games. And I tell you, me and Travis, we have every now and then we get the joy of talking to a Razorback football player on here. And I'm not going to name which one because we always, tell everybody, hey, if we ask you questions, you say something you're uncomfortable with, let us know. We'll go back. Travis will edit it out. I don't know how to do it. But Travis will edit it out. And so we had one player who just says, I despise Missouri. I despise them. And then he asked, well, you go cut that out. I don't want to give them any bullet.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
But these guys do not like Missouri. They don't like how they act. And I think I'm picking us to win this game. I think these boys are fed up with Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, but now who knows? You don't know what the vibe's going to be going into that game because you're coming off, according to my calculations, I got us coming off 2 straight losses at LSU, at Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was having a moment. But no, we're coming off 2 losses, so you're going in. Can you go into the offseason? Can you turn the momentum positive?
Yeah.
I mean, last year they couldn't do it, but I think this is a game the guys want, and I think it's a game they get. So I'm going to finish 8-4. So.
All right. That would be really impressive. I'm going to be honest.
That would be
8-4.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, I have us winning this game also.
Nice.
Because for some of the same reasons Clint just said, and I think it's kind of a ripe time to maybe get Missouri. We'll see.
And
I hope I'm right anyway. We'll see.
To be fair to your guys' point, I must stick up for you here. Missouri has a cupcake schedule. I swear, they just schedule. I mean, Arkansas needs to take a little page from their book because they make, they get to 8, 9, 10 wins where they're just like cupcake. Like Arkansas has a really, really tough schedule. Depending on where you look, one of the toughest schedules, like the toughest schedule in the country. Yeah. Depending on where you look and what rankings you use and how you rank it, that they have the toughest schedule in the country. And so I think that it's like, hey, maybe Missouri isn't as battle tested as they think they are going into that game. Arkansas is going to be a heck of a lot more battle tested than they are. Sure. I'll tell you that. So you guys are right. It could be a case where Arkansas is up for this game. They just battled LSU and Texas, and they're ready to end the season on a high note. And heck, this might be the year they have Missouri's number.
Well, Missouri's breaking a new quarterback this year too, so who knows how that situation is going to play out. I mean, as much as you got to give the devil his due. Brady Cook was a phenomenal quarterback, and he loved playing in Missouri. Yeah, and when you've got somebody like that, they're hard to replace.
Yeah, and last year was a snow game too. I feel like that one was just going to be tough either way for both teams, but I really think last year was just such weird circumstances.
Yeah, it was.
When do you see snow games like that? I mean, it was coming down, y'all. I don't know if y'all were there for that game.
No, but
oh my gosh, it was coming down. It was Alaskan temperatures, it was it was horrible. So I'm just going to say last year was a little bit weird. So you guys may be right.
Well, and the tough part of that game is Arkansas could come limping into that one after playing LSU and Texas. However, it is last game of the season. So anyway, Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll win that
because you
one.
look at the two previous games that Missouri's going to play. They're going to host Mississippi State,
Yeah.
and they're going to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, come
And
on.
who knows how Oklahoma's going to look?
Now, I think Oklahoma's going to be a lot better than they were last year. I
They
really
couldn't be
do.
much worse, Travis.
They
They could
couldn't
not.
be
I
much
think they are
worse.
too, but they're putting so much again, and I get it. The team starts with the quarterback. I get it. I'm not holding anything against people here, but like all the rankings that have come out with SEC quarterbacks and the disrespect to Taylor Green, and you're giving a guy like John Mateer, who by the way is a good quarterback. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking
Yeah.
that away from him, but he's not proven in the SEC. He's
Yeah.
not.
You're right.
So he could bust. He could
Yeah.
boom or
Yeah.
bust, right? He could boom or bust. But you have a guy like Taylor Green who's thrown for over 3,000 yards, like John Mateer, right? Who had good stats in the SEC last year, who had good stats. And you're not going to give him any love with the jump that quarterbacks make in year 2 under Bobby that's been proven statistically time over time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels a little weird to me.
And
I
that's where
understand.
and that's where I want you to have. We need to close this off. I know, so we don't want to take any more of your time, but I did want to close off with that question because I think of all the question marks and the thing that where I need a warm fuzzy feeling for this team. Okay, this is where, because we talked about the defense, but I'm a believer on defense. You can cover up some weaknesses with scheme. Okay,
True,
so
true.
I think Travis Williams can maybe cover up some of those. I think, Barry Odom did that several times. When we beat Ole Miss that time, when Hudson Clark had 3 interceptions that game. I mean, that was what he did in that game. Okay.
Mhm.
So I think that worries me and it scares me at some things. But I'll tell you the concern I've had, and the thing that I'm actually surprised I picked 7 wins. Okay. Because if you had asked me to go put it on, Saracen Casino or one of the casinos, I would say the 5.5 mark is probably a good level, is what I would have said. My concern is so many times last year seeing Green miss wide open receivers. See it, especially, I was a big believer in Tesla. I said on here that I think Tesla's going to have maybe, if not the best, the second best pro career out of any of the guys that went. Landon Jackson being the only one better, but I was saying in the middle of the season he was going to have a better pro career than Armstrong, and I think that's going to for sure work out. He ends up getting drafted, all that in Detroit, but he missed him so many times, and Haas so many times, and there were other receivers he missed. We have video of him, of Carmona and some of the linemen saying, "Hey, that guy's open," and so now you've seen him practice. You've sat down with Taylor Green. Make me feel better about that.
Well, I'll tell you why I'll make you feel better about that is because he sat there and told me he knows that he did that last year. He knows he did that. What he
That's
would do is
awesome.
when he was doing his checkdowns, he would hone in on one guy. And
Mhm.
that was who we needed to throw to. And honestly, I kind of feel him because we had a bonding moment because I said, I feel you, man. I said, when I first played college football 25 when it came out, that's what I would do. I would be like, this is the receiver I'm throwing to. And I would
Yeah.
not pay attention to the defense, what the defense is giving me, right? And you have to
Yeah.
read what they are doing to go, wait a second on, and I think some of that for him wasn't just because he's not a good quarterback. That's not true. I think
No,
he's an extremely talented quarterback.
for
I
sure.
think some of it was pressure. Let's be honest. He
Yeah.
put a lot of pressure on himself to
Mhm.
be the guy, to say, you know what? I'm going to come into Arkansas and I am going to be one of the greats that come through these halls. And I'm going to do this for this team. I'm going to do this for Sam
Yeah.
Pittman. I'm going to do this for everybody. And I'm telling you, he put all this weight on him, all this weight and all this pressure. There were some guys that told me on that team that said, Taylor, man, he would go into games and he would try and be Superman.
Yeah.
And we would go, dude, we don't need you to be Superman.
That's right.
Like, it's great that you want to do that, but we don't need that. The other thing I'll say is you can say, yes, some of it was on Taylor. There was some of it on the offensive line, too.
I
They
agree
have
totally.
got, I'm telling you guys, They were not as good as everyone wanted to say last year.
Yeah.
There were times where I was going, "Oh my gosh, what is this offensive line doing?" If you can't give him time, he's not going to be able to do that. He is
Yeah.
going to panic. He is going to try and make something out of nothing. But most of the time, it was like, "Well, I'm panicking. Well, I'm
Yeah.
panicking. I've got to figure out something. I don't want to screw. I don't want something bad to happen on the play, right?
Yeah.
And to turn the ball over." And so that's what was happening. You couple that with the pressure Talon was putting on himself, with the first time being in the SEC. I watched a guy walk into practice and I went, he's got a whole lot more confidence now. He
Yeah.
was trying to be the dude, and now he is the dude.
Yeah.
Now he's walking in, he goes, I know what I need to do. I'm a leader. I know what I'm not just playing a part, I am it now, right? I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be that. I have assumed that role. And so that's why I think he's going to be different. I mean, also, you're talking about a guy who talked to Jaden Daniels in the offseason and went,
Yeah.
man, what did you do to be such a good, be so good at reading defensive coverages and being good at making better decisions? And he said, VR, man. I was doing
Yeah.
VR.
Yeah.
Taylor went to Sam and Bobby and said, I think I need this. I can be so much better at my decision making and reading defensive coverages if I get this. Well, what'd they do? They bought it for him.
Yeah.
They said, let's do it. Let's get it for you. Now he's been working with that. You can see the difference in practice. I watch him in practice and I'm like, oh, you are actually looking at multiple different options. You're not just going, Andrew Armstrong, crutch. Andrew
Yeah.
Armstrong, hey,
Yeah.
where's Andrew? Right? That was like his crutch, right? It's like,
Yeah.
huh, where's Andrew? When the pressure hit, where's Andrew? And that's why he missed a guy like Isaac. He has a lot more chemistry with multiple receivers. They've been trying to do that in practice. And so, having said all that, I really think the one thing you shouldn't be worried about on this team is Taylon Green.
Yeah.
Really. Now,
That's what I like to hear.
I won't try and make I won't
Oh
try and
no, that's
convince
awesome.
I won't try
Well,
and
no,
convince any else.
and to your point you made earlier, he had great stats still. Okay.
I know.
I'm talking about some mistakes we saw, but in some ways I realize that's nitpicking. Okay. Because he still had a great year. And I understand what you're saying too. When you know one guy that you throw it and he's got two people on him, he's still going to catch it. You're going to kind of think, I mean, it happened when Traylon Burks was here.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens, right?
You're going to use him as a crutch, right? You're just
You're
going to
like,
say, this is
hey,
my.
this good things happen when the ball goes to that guy. So I
Exactly.
get that, but also I also remember Bobby's offense when Ryan Mallett was making passes to every receiver out there.
Yeah.
How dangerous it was when Ronnie Wingo was catching wheel routes. Okay, Ronnie Wingo hardly ever touched the ball except on those. But but you talk about Ronnie Wingo, everybody's gonna say wheel route. They're not gonna talk about running plays he did very much. Even though he had a few of those that were pretty good. Okay. And so those and what you said about the line. We talked about a lot on here. Clint and I are, you know, both, offensive line minded because that's what we were. And
Oh, there you go. Offensive lineman. I love it.
yeah,
Friend of
so
love.
and so we we love the line and the communication wasn't there with them. That to me, that I think there was some talent there. There wasn't as much talent as there is this year. I think there were some guys that could do some good things, but there was obviously when the A gap's getting blown up, that's communication.
Mhm.
There's no reason that should happen on an offensive line unless people are just they're on the wrong page. Whether that's the quarterback, whether that's the lineman, a mix of both, whatever, that's what we've seen. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Thank you. I
Hey,
like to hear that about Taylor.
Courtney, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Now you host your own podcast, right?
Yes, I do. It's called Full Court Press. So if you guys like basketball, that's where I stay. That's where I love. I feel most confident when I'm over at the basketball facility. But with my dad being a coach, we host a podcast together. And I have a bunch of Razorbacks on too. So we have season 2 is coming. We have a bunch of cool guests coming. We've got Scotty Thurman, he's coming on. We've got Corliss Williamson, he's coming on. We've got Darrell Walker, he's coming on. We've got possibly, I might tease it here, we've got some current players who are going to come on and maybe do some preseason stuff with us. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, come join us over there if you want to know what's going on with Calipari's team, if you want to know what's going on with the SEC. I love that podcast. It's my baby. So come join us over there. But I love coming on these as well and chatting with you guys. So
no, and I'm going to ask one favor from you. And you've done us a favor for a little bit over an hour now. But can you tell everybody they need to give us a like, share, and subscribe to this podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
That's usually my job, but I'm passing it off to you.
Well, you guys, if you're watching this right now, you better like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Hopefully you guys might have me on again some point so we can chat some before basketball season would be great.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And also you're
going bad.
You're on all the social media stuff, right, too. So Instagram, all that. And so you want to keep up with her on that so you know what's next, because the big announcement coming on that. We couldn't talk her into it now.
We tried.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry. I've been sworn to secrecy.
We understand. But Courtney, seriously, thank you so much for coming on here. It's been a pleasure having you on and classing up the joint, bringing some real knowledge to this. And we'll keep track of this and we'll hold you to account on how you did here. See, and we'll. Like we've told you, we didn't, in the past we haven't done too well.
I'm right.
Yeah.
But in reality, Courtney's probably right. So
I hope you're right too. I hope I am not right. If I am not right, I will be the happiest camper.
Right.
I will be so happy for you guys to say, ha ha ha, you were wrong. I would love that. Love more than anything in the world. So have it on the record. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, folks, thanks so much for paying attention, for listening, for watching on YouTube, on all the Apple and Spotify and all that good stuff. Appreciate you. Have an awesome week. Peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed.